Hey guys, my name is Destin Dancer. I'm a photographer based in the Rochester, New York area. I shoot primarily couples, specifically adventure elopements, engagement sessions, and weddings. And this takes me into a lot of outdoor locations where we're out in the elements dealing with weather. And one of the problems I have is that my hands always get extremely cold. Right? I'm unfortunate enough to have Raynaud's condition, where I have poor circulation in my hands and feet, which makes it harder than normal to keep my hands warm and super hard to rewarm them once they get cold. It takes hours for my hands to warm back up when I come inside from being outside in cold weather. And so that's always been a problem with photography I do, right? I like to be outside in all conditions. But when you're using a camera, you can't have thick gloves on to keep your hands warm, and so you're always trying to keep your hands in your pockets between photos and keep them warm. I've always used the chemical hand warmers from brands like Hot Hands, and I've just never really found a solution that I thought was great or that I was willing to recommend to anyone until I found these guys. These are the Ocoopa hand warmer from Amazon. Realistically, I'm sure that any battery-powered hand warmer would do. These just seem to be the most popular brand on the market right now with the best reviews, so that's what I went with. I originally started with a previous model from them. They had some issues, and so I never really recommended it to anyone, friends, family, or made a video about it because I wasn't happy with it. But this version came out. I saw it, I ordered it, and it's been extremely good. And so I wanted to go over the specs of it, give you guys my experience with it, and just let you know about this product because I think it could really improve your lives if you live in a cold climate and do anything outside of your hands, right? You're a construction worker, photographer, you like to hike, be outdoors, bird watch, you name it. There's a million things that take you outdoors in the winter, and these things can make your life dramatically better. And that's not really an exaggeration. They've helped me a lot. So quick, we're going to run through the specs, and then we're going to talk about the build quality of these, how they're constructed, how to control them. Do you need a degree in engineering to figure out how to turn these things on? The answer is no, they're simple. And then we're going to go over my thoughts, experience, and just wrap this up. Right? I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I can because these are hand warmers. This is a simple product. We don't need to go crazy. But you do want to know how they work. If you're looking for the too long, didn't read version of this, right? Buy them. They're excellent. They'll keep your hands warm. It's pretty simple. If you want a little more in-depth, let's run through the specs, right? Each one of these, it comes in two parts. They magnetically hook together, so you can't really lose one of them. Each side is its own hand warmer with its own battery, its own controls. And each one has a 5,000 milliamp battery, so they combine for a total of 10,000 milliamps. Total between the two of these, they advertise that you get about 8 hours of runtime on the low setting. I find that to be about accurate. And if you only use one at a time and then pull out the other one when the first one dies, obviously you can get about 16 hours. I've never really pushed it that far, but I have been out with these on the high setting because I like my hands to be nice and toasty, for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time on high with both going together, and they've held up for that. I've never had these actually die in the field, and so I think they're doing great in terms of battery life, and the advertised numbers seem to be accurate to me. Like I said, there's a high and a low. There's actually 4 temperature settings, ranging from 100 to 140 degrees. They don't give you the individual steps in the middle, but the lowest setting is about 100 and the highest setting is about 140. Presumably the middle two are somewhere between, right? And so I do find that these get hot enough to warm your hands up very, very quickly, but not so hot that they would burn you or start something on fire. I wouldn't think. They're obviously engineered to be safe, but obviously still use caution with them. They charge via USB-C. There's 2 cables included because they charge separately. Each one of these devices has a USB-C and a USB-A port. The USB-C port is for charging the device, and the USB-A port actually allows you to plug in a phone charger or a charging cable for another electronic device and use these as individual battery banks to charge things as well. So that's kind of cool, right? You can charge your phones with these, keep your hands warm. It's kind of a multi-purpose battery bank that you can just keep with you in your purse, in your pocket, your camera bag, your car. I actually carry these at work at my full-time job where I'm a paramedic as well. And so these are great for people other than photographers. I just think that, These have revolutionized my life the most as a photographer, where I'm spending the most time outside without being able to wear thick, warm gloves. Right, real quick, I'll go over the magnetic connection on these. The magnets are pretty strong, but not so strong that they're gonna like pinch your fingers or, you know, cause any problems. But they do hold them together securely, so they're not gonna come apart or hit the ground, you know, if you shake them a little bit. They're generally pretty well attached. So moving on to the build quality of these, I would say they are excellent, right? These have a very solid feel to them. There's a rubber dust cover over the charging ports. The opposite side is just blank, so charging port is on the same side when they're hooked together, and the opposite side is just a Ocoopa logo that's blank. There's nothing under there. The charging ports could secure in place a little more firmly, or the dust covers for them, but I really haven't found that to be an issue. They stay closed pretty well, and with these ones, you know, because they have the covers, I've never found it to be a problem where I get lint or, you know, things in there. The previous version of these that I owned didn't have a dust cover, and for what it's worth, the charging ports, just like they would on a phone, eventually filled with lint. I had to clean them out. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But this version hasn't had that problem. The dust covers generally stay in place pretty well. Sometimes they pop open, but not enough that it causes, you know, real problems. As far as the construction of these, right, they're very solid. This back part is metal. You have plastic here, and then you have one power button here that controls it. The power button is very clicky and solid. I don't anticipate that wearing out. It's been holding up very well for me. Still clicks just the same as when it was new. And then as far as how to control these with the power button, right, to turn these on, you're going to press and hold that power button for 5 seconds, and it will turn on. And then you're going to cycle through the power modes by just pressing the button one time each. So you just press the button once, and it moves to the next power level. When it gets to the top level, it cycles back to the beginning and just keeps going around and around, right? This has been on for a few seconds now, and I can already feel it getting quite warm. So these heat up quite quickly, which is nice. And then if you want to check your battery level, you just double tap the button, and it will show up in blue instead of red. And it'll let you know the battery level. You know, right now both of these are fully charged for this review, and they're working great. And then when you're done with it, you want to turn it off. Same thing, just press and hold the button again for, I think it's 3 or 4 seconds. But just press and hold it until the LEDs turn off and the device shuts off, and it cools off quite quickly, and you're good. Moving on to my final thoughts on these. Overall, I would recommend these. They do what they're advertised to do. They keep your hands warm. The battery lasts long enough that it's, you know, not gimmicky. They actually will keep your hands warm for a few hours while you're out taking photos or doing whatever. So I actually find that I enjoy and look forward to going out on cold days now because I don't have to worry about my hands being cold, which has been a game changer. This is the best thing I added to my camera bag in 2023, and it was probably the cheapest as well, it's rare that happens, so it's nice when it does. I would highly recommend these. And if you would, click through the link in my description to go pick these up. That's an affiliate link. It helps support this channel getting off the ground. Make just a couple of cents if you go buy them. And so I would appreciate that. It doesn't cost you any extra. It just helps me out if you liked this video. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this about more photography-related items. I'm going to eventually start reviewing cameras and other things, as well as doing some tutorials and just generally starting to build a photography channel here on YouTube. I'm going to be publishing a video every Tuesday, and so you can look forward to that consistently as I grow my channel. Come along for the ride. Thanks. Have a great day.